the news, fire guts mega plastic industry in Lagos State. Over 91 cases reported as diphtheria kills 10 in Jigawa State. And tribunal upholds election of Hyacinth alias as Benue State Governor. A warm welcome to News Now. I am Mary Kanu. Operatives of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service earlier on Saturday responded to a fire outbreak at a petrochemical plant in Lagos. The fire incident occurred in Megaplastic in the Ilupeju area of the state. The director of the State Fire Service at Adesheye Margaret said the emergency alert was received at 7:26 a.m. on Saturday, adding that the firemen encountered difficulties accessing the building upon their arrival, hindering their ability to locate the source of the fire. The Director of Operations for the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Olatunde Akinsonya, emphasized that the manufacturing industry has been repeatedly advised to establish emergency response plans at all their outlets to better prepare for such incidents.
On getting here, there were issues on accessibility. The firemen were not able to get access to the location of the fire incident due to the fact that all corner and corner were unlocked. It took a time before they could get access to the seat of the fire. And ever since then, they've been battling the fire. The intensity of the fire was that much that radiated and emanated to other adjacent storage. Right now, firemen on ground, they are still fighting fire. We were able to curtail the location of their machine where they normally produce. We were able to curtail the fire not to spread to the machine location, machine spot. And also the second storage. We were able to curtail the fire not to spread to the second storage.
We've been telling this manufacturing industry to build emergency response plan in all their outlets. Let them have emergency response plan. The emergency response plan is a document that indicates operational health safety and emergency responses. It helps them to prepare for a situation like this. You can imagine this magnitude of about 5 or 6 warehouses here does not have fire hydrants. So there should be a fire hydrant and underground tank which is able to hold up to 60,000 to 150,000 liters of water. In case fire burst, fire outbreak, they can quickly load hydrant from that section. But you can see now we are loading water and hydrant from different places.
The Jigawa State Ministry of Health has confirmed an outbreak of diphtheria in the state, with no fewer than 91 suspected cases and 10 deaths. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Salisu Moazu, made this known while addressing newsmen in Dutse. He disclosed the 2 confirmed cases had been identified in Kazaure and Ajahun local government areas, with additional samples sent to Abuja for examination. He further emphasized that the state government had been proactive in responding to the situation, especially following reports of diphtheria outbreaks in neighboring states like Kano and Yobe. And the spread of diphtheria in the northern part of the country is a direct result of the nonchalant attitude of northerners to protecting themselves. These are the words of health expert Elisha Jabani, who was reacting to the second wave and spread of diphtheria in the country. Jabani, who says extensive sensitization efforts and education on the importance of vaccination is the way to go, also called for collaboration among all levels of government to ensure the proper administration of vaccines.
A lot of children over here in the north are not vaccinated. That's following the NPI schedule. And part of though WHO were like, oh, we have low manufacturers, and then but we have the little available vaccines. The issue is that there is this nonchalant in the far north, more especially the northwest, towards immunization generally. They have this notion that way of reducing their population, so that on its own has actually drawn a setback in compliance and then a rest for immunization. So, but whereas still there is health education which is ongoing using all the various means and platforms to ensure that the people in the community are being vaccinated and why it's important. I think even with the low amount of production, the manufacturers, there should still be a surveillance actually. Though I know the NCDC are trying the surveillance system where the chain of the making those vaccines available should still be in place. Some of those primary health care centers or health posts that are not functioning, I think there should be a means in which by the state government at collaboration with the federal government under the Ministry of Health, we ensure that the little amount of vaccines reached out to these areas, more especially areas with this high rate of incidence of the outbreak of the diphtheria.
To politics now, the Benue State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Makurdi has upheld the election of Governor Hyacinth Alia of the All Progressives Congress. The tribunal dismissed the petition of the People's Democratic Party and its governorship candidate Titus Uba challenging the election held on March 18 for lack of jurisdiction to entertain the matter. Chairman of the three-man panel of justices, Justice Ibrahim Karaye, held that the tribunal has no jurisdiction to entertain the petition as the matters raised before the tribunal are pre-election issues as captured in Section 285 of the Electoral Act. According to the result declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) after the election in March, Alia, a Catholic priest, won 473,933 votes ahead of his closest rival, Uba, who polled 223,913. Still in politics, Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has assured the people of the state and Nigerians in general that the governorship election billed for November 11, 2023 would be the most peaceful ever held in the state. The governor who spoke at the seminar also said the APC governorship candidate in the state, Usman Ododo, emerged based on merit through a keenly contested, free and fair election. More details in this next report. It is the third Governor Yahaya Bello seminar for Nigeria's political and crime correspondents and editors held in Abuja. Top of the agenda is the forthcoming November 11 governorship election in Kogi State, which the state Governor Yahaya Bello has promised will be without hitches.
I want to assure you that election of November 2023 in Kogi State will not only be free, fair and credible, it will be the most peaceful. I have superintended over various elections before the next coming one. And we continue to learn and improve every day in terms of performance. And this next one is going to be very, very secure.
Speaking on security ahead of the election, the Kogi Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Fanwo, said the state will not be distracted from the path of peace.
There might be a lot of reports out there as to the elections coming up on November 11, 2023. What I can assure you is that that election is going to be very free, fair, and peaceful. There won't be violence at all, as the state government is determined to ensure that no blood is spilled because somebody wants to assume the position of power.
In this ever-evolving landscape of news reporting, where the flow of information is relentless, the role of political and crime correspondents and editors is more critical than ever. We are the guardians of truth, guardians of accountability, and the watchdogs of democracy. It is our duty to provide the public with accurate, balanced, and insightful coverage of political and crime-related events. The aim of this two-day seminar is clear: to equip professionals like us with the knowledge and skills needed to excel in our roles.
This is the last seminar Governor Yahaya Bello will be attending as the Chief Executive of the state, as he will bow out in January 2024. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria. As the Bayelsa, Imo and Kogi state off-cycle governorship elections approaches, a coalition of 25 civil society organizations have charged security agencies to monitor supporters of all political parties in order to forestall any serious breakdown of law and order. The spokesperson for the coalition, Jayola Isiaka, gave a charge while reading out the communique of the group in Abuja. Isiaka lamented that the signs of insecurity are already surfacing, adding that the tone of political parties during campaigns are becoming more accusatory and volatile.
The tone of campaign language between the two leading candidates of the APC and the PDP is becoming more accusatory and volatile. Security agencies must monitor the supporters of both leading candidates of APC and PDP in order to forestall any serious breakdown of law and order before, during, and in the immediate aftermath of the election. Strong correlation between security and voter apathy. If there is insecurity, nobody will come out of their enclaves to come and vote. So we therefore recommend the security agencies to up their game, and there should be immense voter sensitization on the need for everybody to be civil about this relationship of governance. And we expect that continuous sensitization of the members of the community will go a long way in ensuring that people understand that elections are civil matters and they are meant to bring progress and prosperity for their communities instead of violence and other activities.
The government of Edo State has ceded a war primary health center to the federal government as a temporary site for the takeoff of the National Obstetric Fistula Center in Benin City. During the ceremony, the Edo State First Lady Betsy Obaseki extended a heartfelt appreciation to the federal government for its invaluable collaboration and also used the occasion to encourage women in the region to make use of the facility, offering them assurance of free surgical treatments.
I'm calling out to all women in Edo State and beyond to make themselves available if they're suffering this disease that I've just described. The treatment is free, absolutely free. It's been so, with support from the Edo State government, we've been carrying out free surgeries. So we're calling on women to come and avail themselves of this opportunity to get treated so they can have their lives back, have their dignity back, their peace and joy back. It's not anything to be ashamed of. And it is not a disease or a condition that cannot be treated. So we're thanking God that we have a center here now in Edo State in the South where you can come and get free treatment because it's government handling it. So please come. The doctors will attend to you here and nobody needs to know. If it is shame, you come quietly here and get treated and quietly go back to your home. And nobody needs to know about it. So let's overcome that shame and fear and seek to get a better quality of life and come out here and get treated.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, federal government to invest $20 billion in power targets 20,000 megawatts by 2026. Details of the story and more right after this break. Thank you for staying. Here's a recap of our top stories. Operatives of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service earlier on Saturday responded to a fire outbreak at a petrochemical plant in Lagos. The fire incident occurred in Mega Plastic in the Ilupeju area of the state. The director of the State Fire Service, Adeshaye Margaret, said the firemen encountered difficulties accessing the building upon their arrival, hindering their ability to locate the source of the fire. We also told you that the Jigawa State Ministry of Health has confirmed an outbreak of diphtheria in the state with no fewer than 91 suspected cases and 10 deaths. The permanent secretary of the ministry, Salisu Moazu, who made this known while addressing newsmen in Dutse, disclosed that 2 confirmed cases had been identified in Kazaure and Jahun local government areas, with additional samples sent to Abuja for examination. Well, in case you missed any of the news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Mix4 TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store and Huawei App Gallery. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. In business, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, says the federal government is working towards generating 20,000 megawatts by 2026 and 60,000 megawatts of electricity by 2060. Adelabu disclosed this in Osogbo, Osun State capital during his visit to the National Control Center of the Transmission Company of Nigeria. In his speech, the minister revealed the short and long-term plans of the ministry towards increasing power generation, transmission and distribution in Nigeria. He also revealed that 2 more power substations would come up in the next few months, courtesy of a presidential power initiative of the federal government. And the chairman, Human and Environmental Development Agenda, Head of Resource Center, Larry Suraj, says adding new cabinet members is not a priority for Nigeria at the moment, as President Bola Tinubu's list of ministerial nominees now stands at 49, with the addition of Ayodele Olawande as Minister of State for Youth and Jamila Bayo Ibrahim as Minister of Youth. Suraj, who spoke on TV360's flagship program, DG360, said due to the country's extensive development demands and high debt profile, the government will only continue to incur extraordinarily high costs.
This is not what is needed at the time when everybody, including ordinary citizens and the economic system, is being advised to adjust to a new style of the austere life that would follow a country that is struggling to deal with not just external debt, but also meeting some of the basic social amenities for the citizens, and also to come out of local debt as well that are joining the international one. So with the number of ministers, considering that ministers will also have special advisors, there are still special advisors to the president, there will be special advisors to the ministers, there will be special assistants, and you've seen a number of them are also recently appointed, about 12 of them appointed to also serve as special advisor and assistant to the president in the office of the vice president. And you're getting to wonder what are the outcomes that we get from many of these appointments. The country is not really moving forward in terms of any form of development or also policy emanating from such offices and engagement. But it's been now a tradition of just finding job for the boys and also now for some of the girls. You can commend the fact that there are more young people being appointed into the cabinet, but this is not a justification for running such a huge, cabinet at the time when we need a more leaner but more functional cabinet that would deal with the enormous challenges that the country is facing presently.
The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has condemned the war in Ukraine, requesting and making a resolution that Russia leaves Ukraine while rejecting Russia's offer to claim Ukrainian territory. The UN chief who spoke at the 78th United Nations General Assembly emphasized the need for modernizing the multilateral system to address contemporary issues in Ukraine, Russia, and across the world.
The United Nations organs have been clear in condemning the war. The General Assembly overwhelmingly approved one resolution demanding that Russia leave Ukraine, and the second rejected Russia's effort to annex Ukrainian territory. I have consistently and repeatedly called for a just and sustainable peace in Ukraine, in line with the Charter and international law, for Ukraine, for Russia, and for the world. Russia's invasion was followed by relentless, systematic attacks against civilians and civilian infrastructure and services, including health and education facilities. The war has killed or injured tens of thousands of civilians, destroyed lives and livelihoods, traumatized a generation of children, torn families and communities apart, devastated the economy, and turned vast areas of farmland into deadly minefields. Attacks on civilians and civilian infrastructure must stop immediately. Nearly half of Ukraine's population, some 18 million people, need humanitarian assistance and protection. More than 6 million Ukrainians have fled the country. The United Nations has worked collectively to mitigate the impact on people, both in Ukraine and around the world, and to support civilians. Our humanitarian programs have stepped up, distributing aid to more than 8 million people this year, in partnership with over 450 humanitarian organizations, half of them Ukrainian.
Meanwhile, the military leaders who overthrew Niger's president have criticized what it tags the perfidious actions of United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, accusing him of obstructing their participation in the body's General Assembly, the fourth West African nation since 2020. To suffer a coup, Niger has come under sanctions and threats of military intervention from the economic community of West African states. In the news release read on public television, the military called on the national and international community to witness the actions of the UN Secretary General, which they say are likely to undermine any efforts to end the crisis in the country. And in sports, the 5th edition of the Olojo Chess Festival has kicked off at the Ife Resort Center in the ancient city of Ile-Ife with over 50 players. The event, which takes place alongside the Olojo Festival, is aimed at creating awareness with a focus on tourism and culture to boost chess in the southwest region of the nation. According to the Vice President of the Nigeria Chess Federation, Adewale Adeyinka, chess and tourism can create much needed awareness the region deserves.
This is a grassroots development for us. We are using it to create more awareness why people should actually play chess in Nigeria. As you can see, we have a lot of local chess players who are coming around now. Even people who are not aware of the game of chess.
Chess has a lot of benefits. One being that kids that learn how to play chess do better than kids that don't know how to play chess. Individual that plays chess, they work out their brain. Chess is like a brain stimulant.
Well, that's all the news now. Thank you so much for watching. I am Mary Kanu.